Hi guys, welcome to another day of talking to the camera. Uh, Hi guys, welcome to another day of talking to the camera. Trash, man. Trash. Hi guys, welcome to another day of talking to the camera. Today we have a breakthrough. I'm mostly sure how I can overcome the problem that has been stopping me for the last couple of months. That being the proof of address issue in the US. I'm trying to open an e-commerce store, but I live outside the US, so getting proof of address there is pretty hard. They require a utility bill like electricity, water or something like that, and that has been a big concern for me even before doing my LLC and all that stuff. I was worried about how I'll do that in the future, but in the end I just registered an LLC with a virtual address that they gave me, the company that registered my LLC. But as it turns out, I can't use that address for pretty much. I have no use for it. I can still receive mail there, but it's a confirmed registered mail receiving whatever, and that makes it not usable for opening bank accounts and that kind of stuff, and Stripe, PayPal. But for these last couple of months I've been focused mostly on that. Колко е? 4 минути. All of that legal stuff has been a real concern, a really big concern for me. All of that legal stuff has been a really big concern for me. Setting up an LLC, filing taxes, and that kind of thing. They don't teach us that in school, and I'm gonna have to do that both for the US and also file taxes for in my home country as well. So that complicates things even more. But I see that it's not so hard now, the legal stuff, especially if you pay some people to do it. And that's actually one of my solutions with the payment processor. So first of all, I think that it's extremely fucking dumb to require every business that wants to open a bank account in the US to have a physical address. A lot of people don't have that and are not able to provide proof of address either. For example, people still living with their parents, they don't pay the bills, they don't have such a document that they can show, and it's not like you can show somebody else's bill. It needs to have your name on it. Another thing is online businesses, they don't have a physical address. So people who do that are basically pretty much required to use their home address, which is a big intrusion of privacy for a lot of them. so they resort to paying somebody else or getting some not legit address that they can use, such as the virtual addresses, which is one of my options. And another option is to just use the address of somebody you know and try to get proof of address there. And I've been really struggling with what option I want to pick, and is it even gonna work, because I see that a lot of people on the internet have struggled with this, and not everyone has been able to open up bank accounts and start their business in the US as a non-resident. But some other people say that they haven't had any problems. But actually, in the last couple of months, or even as far as the year, they have been tightening up the requirements to open up services in the US as a non-resident. They require a lot more proof of address now, and they have restrictions on what address you can use. So you can't use a PO box or stuff like that, and they don't accept a lot of utility bills like sublease or phone bill even. So at first I thought about using a relative's address in the US, even though it's out of state. I registered my LLC in Wyoming. The address is in a different state, but I really don't want to do that because I don't want to expose them in that way. So the other option is using a virtual address, which it's kind of a workaround. It's maybe a bit illegal, depends on who you ask. It's basically the only option a lot of people have to do business, and it works for a lot of people, but it's gonna be pretty hard when to get a proof of address for a virtual address. I'm gonna have to figure that out. And the virtual address needs to not be registered as a CMRA, but by law they need to be. So in the USPS or whatever database that they use, you basically need to check whether the address is registered as such, and if it's not, it can probably work, and you just need to provide a proof of address by using some utility bill, which is gonna be pretty hard as well. And another problem that I've been researching a lot about these addresses is the SEO problem. Basically, is Google gonna have a problem with your address being used at somebody else's address? For example, these virtual addresses have like hundreds of business signed up on them. Is Google gonna see that as spam? And when you check out how those businesses that are registered there are doing, a lot of them are probably not even profitable. By the way you see them, they're like pretty much dead. So it's scary like that. So that's the second option, but it's more risky, it's more illegal, and it might still not work. And there is also the proof of address problem, that is with the relatives address and the virtual address. It's hard to get that stuff. So that brings me to the third option, which is basically paying consultants and people who work with non-residents and foreigners to open up businesses in the US. I knew about them, but now I've gained more trust in them because I understand how they do that. They can basically provide you a utility bill that you can use. Say for example you're doing e-commerce, and they can rent you out a room that is basically like returns that customers can send for products. And that's pretty smart because every e-commerce needs returns. It doesn't cost a lot, and they say that they are pretty confident that they can open up bank accounts for people using that. So my thought is, and they also offer a lot of other services like filing your taxes and stuff like that, so they're very useful. But the problem with them is that they cost a lot, really, like 250 350, depends on the package, dollars each month. And as somebody starting out from a country that's not that rich, it's middle income, and that's a lot of money to spend every month for basically. I can do without it if I have proof of address. So what I'm planning to do is try to use virtual address to get proof of address. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna reach out to those guys that do that consulting, and they help foreigners do business in the US. And there's also a bunch of other stuff when doing business in the US. For example, sometimes you need a virtual private server and not a VPN to open up the services so they don't ban you. You need a US phone number, which is also pretty stupid, and a bunch of stuff like that I can believe that is required in the US. I thought that it was a much more open economy, and that lots of people did business there, but it turns out that it's pretty isolated. But that can also be a good thing, because when I've set up all my stuff and I have no issues, that means that I'm gonna have less competition than I thought. A lot of other non-residents in the US are gonna struggle with this, but actually Donald Trump is probably might fix a couple of these issues. He's against so much regulations, and Elon Musk with the government efficiency stuff, he might also alleviate some of that, and I really hope they do that, because it's been so hard to deal with this stuff. For the past like 3-4 months, I've been basically stopped in my tracks. I've lost like a lot of motivation to work on my store. Why would I work on it when I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to launch it, or get paid, or get the bank account. The stupid thing is that you're required to pay taxes to the US when you're a citizen, but and open an LLC, but you can't open up bank accounts and stuff like that, which is something that the government needs to fix, in my opinion. and I hope Elon Musk or Trump does that, without that digital nomad stuff and online businesses. It can't be that way in 2025 and coming years. New Year is gonna be in a couple of weeks. You're probably gonna see this later because I've been lazy and I haven't started uploading the videos until now. So I'm gonna keep my relative's address private if I can. I'm gonna try to get proof of address with the virtual address, and you can't use any virtual address. As I said, it needs to be not CMRA, and that's also gonna cost a bunch of money. And making changes to my LLC, I need to change my business address. But what I'm worried about is if I change my business address to CMRA, to a virtual address, not CMRA, and I apply for all of these things and my proof of address is not enough, I'm gonna try out insurance bills or phone bills, stuff like that, whatever I can get. Hopefully they accept anything that I can offer them. And there's also another risk with using virtual addresses, because that address can be marked as CMRA anytime, and if they notice that, they might ban you and request that you provide a new address or freeze your money and stuff like that. So that's another thing to look out. But I'm gonna try a virtual address first, because I need to also have that experience. If other people struggle with that in the future, I want to be able to tell them if virtual addresses work, or whether they should just do the that return utility bill lease thing from those guys that do consulting. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if it will work, but I'm 90% sure I'm gonna be able to get this proof of address. And the thing is that it also requires quite a bit of time. It takes like up to 40 days to make a change to your business address, which doesn't make any sense if you ask me. It should be done in just a few hours. Like, we have the internet and stuff. Why does it take so much time? And if that doesn't work, I'll probably reach out to those guys. But before I do that, I need to also ask them whether I will mess things up by using a virtual address first, or I can open up a new LLC if I mess things up and they blacklist me or something. But I'm worried that they'll blacklist my name and not my LLC. So yeah, there is hope in me again. I'm gonna be able to start my website soon if things go well. Maybe in 1 to 2 months I'm gonna be ready if things go well. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna do more features about this issue because probably a lot of other people are struggling with this, and there's not that much information on it online. So I'll make more edited videos about that, and also e-commerce videos in the future. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching.